Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bronx Panties and Sports. I'm gonna let me welcome the First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. Good morning to you, Miss First Lady.
Well, good morning. I'm sheltered in like everybody else in the world.
Now we have a special guest. You might have just heard him. We have Brandon Fant, and he's the CEO of Fantom LLC. And Brandon, if I mispronounced that correctly, brother, good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Ronnie B. Hey, that was you pronounced it correctly. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now Ronnie B sitting over here next to me, but this is Spitface. he had to poke his nose in because he heard that you was, gonna be on the show, and he wanted to, cause see, him and old Grumpy be working together. Okay, they do. They got the eagle eye on the money. And see, they did some research on you, Brian. And they looked up and said, we see a future. We see a future. And the reason we see a future, now y'all don't think that we done went all off and everything, because see, we be strategizing, and putting plans into action. And one of the things we saw was that, unfortunately, during these pandemic times, I won't say unfortunately, there is opportunity in chaos. And absolutely. Brandon, with Fantom LLC, got the right product at the right time for those who want to keep their practice together in the athletic world. And Brandon, tell us a little bit about that there product you got.
Yeah. So Fantom LLC is a sporting goods and apparel company. We got a product, the Phantom Throw football trainer. It's our flagship product, and it can go over a door, attached to a gate, fence, tree, any stationary surface or object, and it allows a player to throw and catch American football, multiple sizes, spiral out, spiral back to you, so you can get reps indoors or outdoors. So it's a good opportunity to just get a whole bunch of reps if you got somebody or don't have anybody to play with, or it's dark outside, the weather doesn't allow it, social distancing, in this time of, quarantining and social distancing, it's a good opportunity for you to keep getting those good reps, those quality game-like passing and catching reps.
Brandon, you just said that so eloquently.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Spitface. I appreciate it, man. I try. I give it credit to my parents, man. I do.
Man, you out there, you do it, and I get you do not do it alone, and I don't do it alone. Now, check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Young Playa, where they find this try to smile or get the cold feel of the mute button. First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the NFL teams wish they could fly far away from having the draft during the coronavirus pandemic. The commish has spoken, and he is adamant he wants no complaining, and you will be punished. Are the teams correct given the circumstances? Should the draft be delayed? Who would you rather have leading the charge against the pandemic, Roger Goodell or President Trump? If the draft goes on as planned, does it hurt the draftees or the team more? Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, Sloane Stephens, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, the draft will be held April the 23rd through the 25th, and it's going to be without the fans. Now, the event was supposed to be in Las Vegas, but it's going to be moved to a studio, and the top prospects will be shown via video conferences. Okay, basically that's how draftees were shown if they didn't come to the live event. You know, they would have the cameras there at their home. So, I mean, a lot of them don't even come to the live event. But everybody will be shown this way. Now, the one main issue the teams are complaining about is that they cannot set up their war rooms or their whole thing at their facilities. And they're only allowed to have a limited amount of people. Now, I don't know if he specified how many people, but they say they need to definitely, make sure it's not that many people like they used to have. I mean, they used to have multiple rooms of people when it came to a draft. But also they got to make sure they have sufficient technology to allow communications with draft headquarters, internally, and, with the other teams. Hey, the commish has spoken, and he told them, don't complain to the media. I mean, this is what he said. Quote, public discussion of the issue relating to the draft services serves no useful purpose and it's ground for disciplinary action. So the commission has spoken. Personally, I think Goodell has been making the right decision. I don't even believe I'm saying this because we know how we Spitface. Brandon, you don't know. We talked about the Don a lot of time on this show, but he's the Don, and But to be honest with you, I really think he's making the right decision for a first time in his life because I thought they should have gone ahead with the free agency and kept the season open. They were able to get through free agency. It didn't have any major problems. I mean, even though the teams didn't get a chance to give the players physical, I mean, with their own doctors, they still could have gotten a third-party doctor to do the physical. So, I mean, at least you had a physical. So I really think he's making the right decision regarding the draft. I mean, if they don't do the draft now, when are they going to do the draft? I mean, because then you get into the situation where if it's possible that they're going to have a season, they start the OTS. They come in, play usually around the summertime. So they had to really have the draft. To me, the whole thing was with the draft that it has become so commercialized with all the fans. They have really made this a spectacle, to be honest with you. I mean, I remember when the draft wasn't even televised at one time. So the fact that the draft process is going to be altered, I mean, teams are just going to have to adjust to it. And let's not be ignorant about the fact that teams make decisions based off of several criteria. They don't just go by interviews. I mean, most of the time they look at the film, the video of the player. That's how they're going to make their decision. And also, if you remember, the NFL still had the combines. So, I mean, a lot of the GMs were able to speak to the key people at the combine. To me, the problem that they're going to be, the draftees are going to be the ones that are really hurt. And it's only going to be the draftees that are not going to be picked in those first 4 rounds. Because what happens is when teams have their drafts in their war rooms, they have all of the potential draftees on the board, and they keep track of the ones that they pick. They keep track of who the other teams pick. So what's going to happen, some players will probably get lost in the shuffle because another thing, after the draft, they do the free agent signing because a lot of the people who are not drafted, a lot of these teams, they sign right away to contracts. So those are the players to me, those ones that are not probably going to be drafted in, okay, I say 4 to 5 rounds because when you get into 6, 7, you ain't going to make too many teams. But anyway, you still could be signed to a practice squad or whatever. But those are the players to me that will be hurt more so than anything. And when it comes to who should lead the pandemic, well, we already know what type of job Donald Trump is doing. I mean, it's to me. So if I have to make a choice right now, I guess I would go with Roger Goodell because he's been making very smart decisions. He's been very decisive. So I'll give it to Roger Goodell because we already know what's going on with Donald Trump. Anyway, Brandon, what do you say about this situation?
I think that ultimately at this point, Donald Trump did not get ahead of the situation. No, nobody took it seriously, and I guess he kind of didn't realize that he should have been at the forefront of the whole situation, like all the prior presidents would have been, being more engaging in global situations and global pandemics that kind of occurred in the past. That's something that he failed to do back in October, November, when this pandemic really started over in Wuhan. So I think that he really missed a huge opportunity there. The CDC dropped the ball too. But the way Roger Goodell has held the league down so far, he's definitely made his mistakes, but I think that he's a little more organized, more of a well put together representative. I think that he would be able to keep chaos together, where Donald Trump seemingly is just trying to push blame along to anybody else as long as it's not him. So I think that he's not taking accountability. I think the league is doing great by keeping the draft where it is. The people need it. Americans miss sports, and this is going to be a way to keep the league on the right track. But at this point, what I'm really worried about is if the football season is going to be starting on time, because everything seemingly is getting pushed back. So I think that he's making the right decision by keeping the draft where it is and housing it the way it is. And the only people who are going to really be affected is those first two rounds, right? Everybody else usually is streamed when they're picked. So I don't think really anybody else is going to be truly affected by other than that. But I'm looking forward to hearing the drafts and seeing those highlight plays. It's always something that I like watching. And even if it is in the later rounds, in my opinion, I think that those are the sleeper rounds, and those are the rounds that I truly appreciate, because those are the opportunities that the people, I guess, people out in the dark, they don't really, get a lot of publicity. Maybe they fall in their draft stocks falling, but at the end of the day, they'll be able to get that opportunity with the NFL team and make a difference in an NFL team. So I think that, that also presents itself. So, TB was a late round draft pick too, right? So there's some sleepers out there that'll definitely be able to impact the league and teams for generations to come.
All right. Well, yeah. Tom Brady was picked, in the 6th round, I believe. He was definitely a late round draft pick. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, Spitface, what do you have to say about your president and this whole situation with the NFL draft?
Oh, man, you're going to just throw him on me. I'll talk about I'm at a bus. Wait just a minute. Now, I'm looking at the, I got to hand it to Roger Goodell. And as we know, Don Goodell, because he is the committee. And, but this is a time where I got, First Lady, I got to agree with you. I got to give him some props. He's steering this bad boy. Now, we can look at the NBA commissioner. Now, the NBA commissioner, he just said, look, we're going to get way ahead of this. And he did his thing. But we know the man with the plan is Roger Goodell, Don Goodell. And he said, you know what? If we change the date, we're going to end up having to push the season back. So we ain't changing nothing. And then the other part is like, come on, team. You mean to tell me with all the money you spend on scouting, all the money you spend on film, all the money you spend on research, that your decision going to come down to a couple of weeks before the draft day? Come on. You got film galore. You got scouts who've been out on the field. And then the other part is that if it's a matter of a conversation you need to have, I really need to speak to the person, call your HR department. I'm sure your HR department know how to do a Zoom video conference so that they can talk to a prospective employee. Come Well, we gotta have 2 psychiatrists, a psychologist, a social worker, this and a that to find out. And after all of that, you find out he can't play. A bust. 50% of the first round picks are bust. So after all of that, your ratio is 50%. So y'all need to step up and get up and shut up. That's what I'm saying. They need to complain. How many billions of dollars y'all got? Well, we're going to have to spend some money on technology. And maybe it's time y'all start, hey, where there's chaos, there's dollars. And the other part is the commission don't do nothing the owners don't really want.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the commission do have, hey, kind of like, remember, they are the syndicate.
All right,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think everybody is going to look forward to this draft, and like you said, Brandon, it's going to, the sports fan, and I think even people who are not sports fan probably want to see something other than what they've been watching. So I think it's great to have something around the NFL. And Roger, the Dodger, he always knows how to put the NFL in the limelight. So I think it's kudos to him. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my tears and putting my suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition I'm towering. Wrecking shop, but I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced competition. Paying the price. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Angelique Kerber, Simona Halep, or Caroline Wozniacki. We are talking about the knockout punch, bam, to the hopes of Antonio Brown joining Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Coach Bruce Arians has had experience. He had that stand with Antonio and says, no way, Jose. Should Tampa Bay reconsider and give Antonio another shot in the NFL? Should the Texans consider bringing in Antonio, given they gave away their playmaker, DeAndre Hopkins? Will Antonio Brown be playing for an NFL team in 2020? Maria Sharapova, Carolina Pliskova, and Alex Morgan are asking what you say. Brandon, First Lady, I'm looking at the situation with Antonio Brown, and First Lady and I have had many a conversation about the real value of the diva wide receiver. Yeah. Me and First Lady have had that the what I call the real value, and I'm looking at wide receivers who really were dominant to get their team to the Super Bowl and win the bad boy. Win the bad boy. And none of the diva wide receivers over the last 20 years has done that. Name one. None. We had our assistants go out and check. Not a one. In 20 years. So these overpriced wide receivers with all their divaness, hey, go pay that other guy. Get you an Edelman. Get you somebody who's going to win that game. You know what? They going to, and forget the diva silliness. Now, Bruce Arians, he right. Yeah, I had the Antonio Brown experience. Why would I be it? See, Bruce Arians is not Bill O'Brien. Bruce Arians ain't crazy. He a good coach, and he's he got his style, but he ain't crazy. Now Bill O'Brien, the Texans, Man, I don't know what they were putting in this boy's water, but it just seemed like, I don't get that he's instilling the Patriot way, because the Patriot way don't seem to be get rid of your best players and make bad draft deals. I just don't know. You're gonna get rid of your playmaker, the man that, your comforter for your man, DeAndre Hopkins. I would just get rid of him because he want a little more money, and I don't like the fact that he got a couple of baby mamas. Brandon, First Lady, I got to be honest. Now I know that the state of Texas is not a legal marijuana state. I know that for a fact. But I'm wondering what Bill O'Brien been smoking. But I'm gonna tell you something. And y'all hoping it's a guy, his paycheck, and he need an excuse. Now, as far as Antonio Brown playing in the NFL, the rule used to be if you got talent, all things can be excused. I got a sense that these teams are going, it ain't working. Because we ain't getting to the Super Bowl with none of y'all. So, Brandon, how you feel about this topic? Spit on.
Yeah. It's funny because Antonio Brown was the first receiver who ever responded back to my DMs when I was trying to get publicity for the Fantom Throw football, and I was trying to get it out to NFL players so I could get exposure, get some feedback on it. He was the first one that responded. So for a long time, he was definitely my favorite player in the league. But as his antics went on, that had to change. That did change because he just showed like a lot of character issues. He's not trustworthy. You when you look for a receiver, yeah, he can play. He can make plays on the outside of the field for you. He may be able to score a couple touchdowns for you, but what's the detriment he's going to have in the locker room? So I look at it, and that's what Arians is trying to protect at this point, because he knows that a team with great cohesion, with a great locker room, with a quarterback and a leader like Tom Brady and the receiving core that they already got in place, you don't need him. So he kind of did all of this to himself. From, throwing, Gruden under the bus, Tomlin under the bus, Ben Roethlisberger under the bus, most quarterbacks, Derek Carr under the bus, regardless if he had validity or not in what he was saying, because a lot of it, what he was saying was true. But it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I think that that's really how and where you say it at this point. So, I think that he's been his own worst enemy in getting himself back into the league with his antics. So it's going to be real hard for him to convince a GM and a head coach in the NFL that he's going to be worthy of that, that spot for that reason. I think that he still will get an opportunity, and I hope he gets an opportunity, because I think that players are capable, like anybody, of changing, of evolving, getting better, or getting worse. You're going to either do one of the two. You're not going to stay the same. So that's my thought of it, he can get better. And I think that he has gotten better with his character issues. But at this point, it's all about trying to build that trust with a GM, a head coach, to say, hey, I'm reformed. I'm different. I'm not going to do that. I'm not like that. And, I think that it is possible again, but, that he has to sell himself to those guys, and hopefully he does get back in the league. I'd hate to see his talent go to waste. And I know the XFL would love to have him, or the CFL would love to have him, but I think that he's still an elite receiver in the league. I think that he's still explosive. He could still be a value to any NFL team. But at this point, I can't blame Arians for getting rid of him, or saying that, he can't join them, even for the veteran minimum, because of the detriment. The risk versus reward is completely, it's not there right now. And right now, if you look at his track record, he looks more like a a liability instead of an asset. So, you know, it's that's just what it is.
I didn't
it's
mean
sad
to
because
interrupt.
he's a great player. You know, I was done, but it's sad because he's such a great player with such a high talent. You know, like his work ethic is impeccable. You know, but again, he's done all this to himself. You know, nobody did this to him but him. You know, it's not the media or the fans were coming after him like that. He was the one that was seeking the attention, and it kind of backfired on him, unfortunately.
Preach, brother. I'm with you there. I'm with you. And but the first lady has the final word.
Well, when a coach emphatically says no, that Antonio Brown will not be actually he said he would not be good for his locker room, then you have to believe him because he knows the personality of Antonio Brown. I mean, when he was with the Steelers, for 7 years? So he got to know Antonio Brown. So let's face it, if he says no and then to put it out there publicly like that, you got to believe what he's saying. He knows something about this man. And I think, like you explained, Brandon, you know, his track record, we all know about Antonio Brown. I mean, let's face it, he's a great talent, but do you want that diva in your locker room? I mean, the Bucs, you know, they could probably use another wide receiver, but they don't need Antonio Brown, you know, and supposedly he's a good friend of Tom Brady, so that's why Tom Brady was pushing for him. But that just goes to show you Tom Brady doesn't have that much clout at Tampa Bay because Bruce Arians said no. And as far as I'm concerned, Bill O'Brien, if the Houston Texans should sign Antonio Brown, he couldn't even get along with DeAndre Hopkins. How the hell he's going to get along with Antonio Brown? I mean, all his baby mama drama. Yeah,
that ain't happening. I don't see that either. DeAndre Hopkins, you think without it, easy.
It's a joke to me to think that Bill O'Brien can handle Antonio Brown. I mean, you know, come on now. And based off of Brown's baggage, I'm going to be honest with you. He definitely will not play this year, and I'm going to even say that he may never play again. And I'm going to say that he may never play again because look at it. He's going to be 32 years old this summer. So he's already at an age where, you know what, it's questionable, even though he hasn't played for, several years now. But the point is he's 32 years old. So if his legal situation doesn't get resolved anytime soon, I just don't see a team really taking him for the minimum contract, because if he gets on a team, then he's going to be suspended because his whole situation hasn't been resolved. And I don't even know what the league is doing with his investigation. I mean, I don't understand why they wait until the person gets on the team and then they come up with the investigation. It seems like they should have been investigating him long before that. And for some reason it takes so long. I'm not sure if they're waiting for it to be resolved in the courts. And, it could take a long time for this to be resolved in the courts. I mean, this could take a long time. So at age 32, I just don't see a team picking him because of all the situation with his legal situation and the fact that his age is 32, even though he's a great receiver. But at 32, you're a diva and you got legal problems. Why on earth would a team want to go through that? So Antonio Brown is probably going to be like Colin Kaepernick. He's not going to be on any team anytime soon. That's just what I'm saying.
First lady, if I was going to Vegas and like actually gambling kind of guy, I'd probably put $1 on that one. and I have no. I'm just gonna say it like this: I do not feel sorry for him because too much emphasis is placed on talent over responsibility and common sense. And too many people make excuses because someone got talent. And that don't serve nobody. But First Lady, before I get on a soapbox, can you please take us to break?
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll have a performance from Young Freda on Shout Out Part 1.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. And, First Lady, before we get into the music, I just, one, I was checking out young Brandon's shoes. And one, he got that glow. And I'm going, this brother that stepped up in here with some snakes. He done stepped up in the studio with some snakes. Now, I was already a little jealous about that Armani suit. He come styling and profiling in, and the hat with the feather. But I figured that he was, kind of associated, at least coming out of the East Coast. But then I look at the snakes. Now, brother, me and you going to have to talk later. Can't be coming up here out styling me in front of the First Lady. You got that, Brandon?
Yeah,
don't get out of line now. Don't get out of line.
I was bringing my designer, my fashion guy. He got you, Ron. Spitface, he got you, bro.
Okay, all right. Okay. Now, First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Young Freda. Over to you.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring the music from Young Freda. And DJ, let's hear I Got It.
CGA. Freda the Kid. Man, it never take no license, see I'm down and out. Nah. Oh, my smile is looking nice, sometimes I wear it out. Freda, I got it. Man, it never take no license, see I'm down and out. Oh, my smile is looking nice, most times I wear it out. To cover up this pile of pain, I can't express it now. Off on workers on the counter, what he'll ever give. I hate it's true about my view, we seen to die to live. I dream of views right by a couch of sand, the ocean field. And yet I'm leaning against the ropes, trying to stay alive. Hard to organize the pieces when you break your pride. But still I rise, I got it. When it comes down to that paper, you know that I got it. When it comes down to my family, you know that I got it. When it comes down to that paper, I'm running and I got it. Told my fam, I got it, yo. I got it. When it comes down to that paper, you know that I got it. When it comes down to my family, you know that I got it. When it comes down to that paper, I'm running and I got it. Told my fam, I got it. Hey mama, watch your son climb the horizon. I plan to show you earth meet sky as we flying. I went on dying, land on islands. What a climate, had you smiling, and every moment is captured timeless in my conscience. Until then, I'm 9 to 5, like a slave still in bondage. Our freedom lies in economics. We stack and invest into that money. It's abundant. Who knew some niggas from Columbus and not Ohio, but towards the bottom of the country? Unify and host again, our dreams accomplished. This shit that take the unique, require leaders, not sheep, to be the ground for some feet who can't feel earth underneath. I got them. When it comes down to that paper, you know that I got it. When it comes down to my family, you know that I got it. When it comes down to that paper, I'm running and I got it. Told my fam, I got it, yo. I got it. When it comes down to that paper, you know that I got it. When it comes down to my family, you know that I got it. When it comes down to that paper, I'm running and I got it. Told my fam, I got it.
young Frida. I don't hear a girl in there, so I'm assuming it's something else other than Frida. But anyway, they said I got it. And well, you know what? I think they really do have it. I'm going to give them a shout out. I was song, even though they use the N-word. I ain't too keen on them using the N-word, but that's besides the point. That's what these rappers do now. So anyway, but I'm going to shout it out. I like the music. I like the rapping on it. It was a well put together track. All right, Brandon, what are you going to give him a shout out? Or are you going to hit the mute?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a shout out. Young Freda, he got some swag. I like the beat. I like the melody. He has some bars in there, so definitely give him a shout out for sure. I think that he got a bright future ahead.
All right, Spitface, shouting it out. Or are you going to hit the mute?
I got it. I'm giving it a shout out.
Okay. You like to elaborate? No.
I thought he was, I liked the flow, had me kind of moving and grooving, I'm just still over here watching my man Snakes.
you still, he came outshined you, huh? And his Armani suit, his Snakes. I hear you.
Now, don't get carried away, first, man. You got to work with me next week.
All right, Spitface. I got to give you some love there with your dressing. Okay. All right. So, you know what? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Flip It is really, oh, my goodness. Flip It, you're so exciting. You want to get on board here now. But anyway, a part 2 of Shout Out, we'll have another performance from young Freda. And I already heard the sound. That's the sound of our favorite underwater Freda. He's very eager this morning. Oh, I like that in Flip It. All right, it's time for Flip It.
All right. It is time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The Patriots need a QB, and Cam, I am green eggs and ham. Newton is available. Now, given his injury history, should they take him? Panel defend. Cam Newton is a great quarterback who, unfortunately, took too many hits. The Patriots should take a pass. I have seen some of the Instagram videos of Cam Newton work it out. And I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of jealous. I'm like, man, my man all buff, looking mean and lean. Now, I ain't no professional athlete, so, I got to go, look, come on, But, I'm like, man, my man looking good. They showing the clip. My man, I'm like, they should grab him. That boy looks great. And that's why they don't hire me to work on NFL teams, because I don't know how to evaluate nobody. I just know what I like and what I see. These boys know what the hell they doing. And for the Panthers to let him go, they said, you know what? It's not the one injury. When you start having several injuries and surgeries, you just got to look at it and go, this pattern is more likely to continue, not go the opposite way. And I'm going to tell you something. Cam, I am being there, that's a bad man. And health-wise, he would be great to have on the Patriots, but it's that health-wise. It just, Cam, I'm sorry, I am green eggs and ham. The Patriots either need to go with the youth movement or get somebody who, like I said, they just don't need somebody who might like be like the Great Wall of China and start cracking. But Brandon, the thing.
Yeah, when I look for an investment, Spitface, I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, how long can I see this guy in that position, holding it down? I mean, this is a quarterback that you're going to need to fit Tom Brady's shoes, and Tom Brady wasn't a slouch back there for New England for all those years. So You know, Cam is taking his fair share of hits. He has multiple injuries. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. He didn't play very much at all this last season. So with the Patriots' ability to be able to find Tom Brady so late in the draft, I mean, with the draft coming up, you have a lot of opportunities to get a lot of players that could replace Tom Brady. Let alone they got Jarrett Stidham out of I think he's out of Auburn too, I believe. So I mean, you know, they got a quarterback that they do like. So Bill Belichick is gonna be a little more strict than the average coach in the league right now, for sure. I don't see him. You know, he's gonna definitely dish it out. You know, so I don't know if Cam's gonna be really strong for that kind of coaching, even though he is from College Park. So I can see why Bill Belichick doesn't want to move in that direction, or at least that's the way it appears right now, because Cam's still on the market.
All right, now you heard the defense from Brandon. Let's hear the defense from the first lady.
Well, you know, Cam Newton is very injury prone, and, the other major reason why he's injury prone, because he holds the ball too damn long. That's the problem with Cam Newton. And I just don't see the Patriots, picking him and Bill Belichick picking him, because he is not right for the Patriots. First of all, the Patriots' offensive line wasn't great last year with Tom Brady, and we know how quickly Tom Brady gets the ball out. So if you can imagine Cam Newton behind that line, he's going to be injury-prone again. And I'm sorry, Cam is such a freelancer. He doesn't conform to straight offensive sets. He likes to improvise, so that will not work with the Patriots' offense. And you know what? You know how Bill Belichick is, and you said it right, Brandon. He's very strict. He believes everything is a system, and you have to conform to the system. And I'm sorry, Cam Newton is not a system person. So Bill Belichick, he's going to say Jarrett Stidham.
All right. Now, you've heard the defense from the panel, but you know this is Flip It, where we flip the script and defend the opposing view. Bill Belichick has always liked Cam, and the Patriots need someone like him. Injuries or not, they should swoop him up in a hurry. Now, one of the things, when you look at Cam Newton and you look at his current situation, and, there's an old saying, that my grandmother used to tell me, and she said, never kick a dog when it's down. And in a way, that's how the NFL and folks was playing Cam. Now, he been down. He was injured. Niggas gonna kick him. Well, no, 200 pounds like that. And the thing is that old dog will come back with some fire. Cam Newton is going to come back like a man possessed to prove the critics wrong. And if it takes for him to say, you know what, I'm going to do what Bill Belichick say, because he got 6 Super Bowl rings and I got 0. And I want to prove these suckers wrong. Cam got that kind of personality. And that's what a Patriots team that done just lost the GOAT needs at this time. And then the other thing is that Bill Belichick needs to have an opportunity to create a new system, which he has done with several quarterbacks that weren't Tom Brady. He is a great coach, and he knows how to adjust for whatever player he goes with and puts in. And a man possessed Cam, I am green eggs and ham, and Bill Belichick wanted to prove, and Bill done lauded him over the years. I tell you, I think that they'll be in the playoffs and competitive with a Cam Newton. And he cheap, right? Yeah, bargain sale. And Bill, he liked them good buy. Brandon, please, let's see.
Man, Cam is by far my favorite player in the league, hands down. And I'm a Panthers fan. So when I saw that the Panthers were getting rid of Cam, when the rumors first came about, I didn't want to believe it. Then our head coach, Matt Rule, came out, and he said he wanted Cam to be the starter. Then we ended up getting rid of the guy. So, you know, the way I feel about it is the way I've watched Cam over the years, starting back when he won a Heisman in Auburn, Cam's going to come out with a vengeance. Even if it's only for a couple seasons, Cam is going to come out with a couple of chips on his shoulder. He's going to definitely make moves out there and do whatever it's going to take to win and make the organization better. I think that's what his intentions were from the jump in Carolina, and I think that he did accomplish a lot of that. But, you know, it makes me think of interesting situations because Carolina got rid of Cam, but Pittsburgh has been loyal to Ben Roethlisberger. You know, so it's like Ben Roethlisberger hadn't played a full season in how long? But Cam, you know, is definitely capable of leading a team, especially that Carolina Panthers team, to another Super Bowl without a doubt, and like no questions asked. So I feel for Cam, and I agree with him that the Panthers did give up on him. I think Bill Belichick definitely needs to give him a shot because he'll do anything to help a team win. He plays the game with a smile on his face. People will say he's arrogant, but at the end of the day, he's doing what he wants to do and having fun with the game and playing that game with the swag and confidence that you got to play it with to be great. You know, you're playing this game with the best athletes in the world. So if you think that you're anything less than the best on the field, you're going to perform like that. So I think that that's a lot of where his swag, his drip comes from. But, yeah, I definitely think that the Patriots would be a great fit for him. I'm surprised that he has not been picked up at this point, but Bill Belichick definitely is considering it. I know he is because he's seeing the talent, and he sees that Cam would be an asset to the locker room and to his organization.
All right. First lady, that's Ann.
Well, you know, what can you say? The team currently has a 23-year-old Jarrett Stidham basically sitting at the top of their depth chart, and they re-signed again Brian Hoyer, who's, he's about 34, 35 years old. So, I mean, to be honest with you, this is a no-brainer. I mean, Cam is the type of quarterback that the Patriots need. He could make those short passes. You know, like I said, the only problem with Cam, he likes to hold on to that football too long. But, you know, I can see him passing the ball to Julian Edelman, you know, if he's really healthy. And it just makes more sense for them to get Cam, green eggs and ham, because their depth chart is not great. Can Jarrett Stidham do the job? I don't think so. He averaged about, 18 touchdowns at Auburn? I mean, 18 touchdowns, where you had Joe Burrow throwing 60 touchdowns last year. Tua Tagovailoa, he was averaging around 30-something touchdowns. So, obviously, that tells me that this Stidham is not that great of a quarterback. He's very pedestrian. So, I mean, at this point, Belichick knows he has to get somebody to increase that depth chart. So, hey, why not consider Cam? Matter of fact, I think Belichick would even consider Colin Kaepernick at this point in time with the depth chart he currently has. He got to get Cam Newton. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
All right.
Good to see Cap back in the league. Cap could definitely, bring some people to sit in those seats in the league for sure. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. It'd be good if it did, but I don't know.
I was just saying Kaepernick because Stidham is definitely not the answer. So that was the point of emphasis. You could bring Colin Kaepernick if you're going to go with Stidham.
I agree.
Well, I'm glad Teddy Bridgewater got picked up. But First Lady, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2. Jarrett Stidham. welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Spitface, over to you.
All right, First Lady, and the production assistants have been social distancing, and I think they was hanging out with an old school one, bluntly speaking. That's the real deal. They went back in the archives and pulled out a funny. Let's see how this one works. A resident is baffled when an intruder cleans his home and takes nothing. A Massachusetts man said he arrived at his family's home to find someone had broken in and given the residents a deep cleaning without stealing anything. Nate Roman, 44, said he returned to his Marlboro home last week with his 5-year-old son, and the boy was the first to notice the back door was open. It was terrifying to know someone was in your house. The homeowner said he was shocked to go inside and discover nothing had been taken, but instead the house had been cleaned. You could smell the cleaning chemicals. I could tell something was wrong, so I started looking around the house, and I found that my bathrooms had been cleaned. Roman said every room had been cleaned except for the kitchen. Marlboro police said they are taking the investigation seriously, but they currently have no leads or suspects. Roman said a clue left behind: toilet paper, folded into origami roses, led him to suspect a professional cleaning service had visited the wrong address. It was really the roses that really got me thinking that some professional cleaner had accidentally stumbled into my house. If I was going to judge the quality of a toilet paper rose, I would call this high quality. Guys down there, water splashing on you, it must be time for a favor. Underwater friend, it's time for Flippy, First Lady.
The commish has spoken, but our panel hasn't. All right, panel, defend. The NFL should postpone the draft. Spitface, defend.
Okay, we touched on this a little bit earlier, and, NFL, who do y'all think y'all are? We got social distance. We got a coronavirus pandemic, and y'all want to perceive like, well, we got to keep the show on. We got to keep the ball rolling. Come on, have some consideration for how the times are. It's and then the other part is that y'all gonna just screw over the players that was on the bubble. That being able to bring them in, having an extra conversation, checking them out, having makes the difference between them having a career. Because you got tape, you got all, what you had, but, you don't have what's up to date now. And then, like I said, right now, the mood of the country, you want to have the draft. Come on, man. Y'all need to, just the entertainment value. One, y'all need to, we know y'all ain't got y'all butts together, so y'all need to plan it. And moving the draft back is not going to delay the rest of the NFL season. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. That's right. You said stop complaining. They know what they already dealing with. All right, Brandon, defend.
Everybody else is canceling all these events, all these sporting events. But the NFL feels like they're better than the rest, and they feel like they can just go ahead and do whatever they want, whenever they want. Kind of like the old bully at school. Just feel like he can just do whatever he wants at recess. So I think that the NFL definitely needs to take a step back, observe the situation, see if social distancing is going on right now. There's a corona pandemic, and, we're trying to get our economy back straight, and this isn't going to help us at all. So we need to take a step back. He needs to delay the draft a little bit like everything else has been delayed. And then that way, he won't be catching so much heat, because right now he thinks that he's just doing whatever he can and wants to do. Him being Roger Goodell. So I think Roger Goodell definitely can slow down a little bit and take a deep breath, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to I don't know if the season going to start on time anyway, so might as well just push it back a little bit.
All right. Okay, well, you know what? I agree with you. The shield of the NFL is always greater than anything in the world. This is the commish acting like the Don. It's his way or the highway. But, also I have to look at the fans. I mean, the NFL really should postpone the draft because it has become such a fan-friendly event. And if you remember, it's going to be in Las Vegas. And there was a reason why they put it in Las Vegas this year, because the Raiders are playing in Las Vegas for the first time this year. So what a great way to jumpstart the season in Las Vegas for the Raiders. So don't deprive the fans. Goodell, I mean, the draft is already commercialized. That's the way you wanted it. So it is going to be a major disappointment to the fans. They could postpone it until May. Give it another month. And I don't think, like you said, Spitface, waiting another month is going to have a major impact on the league. So, it's not going to push back the season. Hey, Donald Goodell is wrong about this. They should have postponed the draft. All right, but we're going to defend the opposing point of view. Panel, what more do the teams really need? They got tape and scouts have the draft. Brandon, defend.
So repeat that one more time. I ain't really get that.
Oh, sorry. What more do the teams really need? They got tape and scouts have the draft. Defend. We flipping it.
So right. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like the players are the ones that are really at a disadvantage, but also, like you said, the fans at the end of the day are the ones that too are not going to be able to be engaged at the draft. And I think that's going to really hurt the league in the long run, especially when the apparel ticket sales and stuff like that are rolling around. So it's going to be an interesting point because I don't really know how the league is going to be able to capitalize with this pandemic going around right now, just because there's not going to be a cure for it for quite some time, not going to be a vaccine for this season. So, I mean, our team's going to be playing in empty stadiums. We got to be a step ahead and really know, what's going to go on, what's the plan, what's your vision, and how you're going to get there. So it looks like, Goodell has some things to kind of figure out mighty fast because, society's going to keep on moving, but unfortunately, medicine's not really here to help, cure this thing and take it to the next level. So we'll see how things progress and play on.
All right, Spitface, defend. What more do the teams need? They got the tape. They got the scouts. Come on, defend.
I'm looking at the situation, and they should go ahead and have the draft. And part of the reason is that this is how things are going to be anyway in the future. Do you really think that after the pandemic ends, that social distancing is just going to automatically stop? People are going to grab each other and start singing Kumbaya, or We Are the World. No, once people get used to doing certain things and have certain mind concepts, it becomes a habit. Like with exercise, once at first, it's like a pain, but you do it long enough, it just starts being what you do. And a lot. So do you really think that people are going to go, I'm a fan, and let me go to a crowded stadium, knowing that the doctors done said that it can come back again? So, the NFL have the draft because this is the future of how things, and you might as well just work on it, get all the kinks out now, and teams come on. The next 3 weeks, you ain't getting any more information than you done already had on these players to make a decision. And you know, you need to hook up with Verizon, Comcast. One of the boys say, I need the technology. Y'all got a couple of billions of dollars to make it happen. That's all I'm saying, per se.
All right. Yeah. I mean, these teams, they have all the intelligence on these players. They have more intelligence on these players than the FBI and the CIA. I mean, come on now. What do they have to do? What is there to understand? Why are they complaining? I mean, firstly, they already know pretty much who they're going to be picking. They have been discussing this with their scouts all season long. I mean, the NFL, they need to have the draft because what else do they have to lose? It's showing that the NFL can regain some of its normalcy. I mean, the season probably will not start on time because if you think about it, the flu season is going to come around again in the fall, and who's to say that this coronavirus is going to be in another cycle again in the fall? So they might as well get the draft over with now. And that's what I'm saying. They have to get it over with now so they'll know who's on their team. You don't want to put the draftees on hold. I mean, it just makes sense to do it now. You don't have to have all the TV hype or anything. You know, back in the day, we didn't even have all this TV hype for the draft. It was just a blase event. Okay, yeah, so-and-so was drafted, but it wasn't always televised. So anyway, they just need to have it. And Goodell, you need to do the right thing, and that's what you need to do. You need to have the draft. Right. Spitface, over to you.
Hey, they should do that free streaming video on NFL.com over the internet. They know how to deal with it. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Young Frater on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned. Have that draft.
You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the finale. Oh, Shout Out Part 2 and the finale. Okay, the music flows around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. We have another performance from Young Frater. Now, you know, Young Frater got all shout-outs, that last track. And, you know, sometimes there's a brand and sometimes there'll be a drop-off. You know, like that first track, you know, how like you got that lead track and you jam it. And then the next 5 suck. So I hope that ain't the case for you. I hope that ain't the case for Young Frater. I hope he ain't a one-hit wonder, you know. So let's hear, and the name of it is really perfect. Let's hear Keep Going, DJ Roller.
Yeah. I'm a nigga like this kid out there in the booth with me, man. It's your boy Young Frater, man. CJ, man. You know in life you gotta keep going. No matter what the circumstance is, you know, gotta keep going. Through all the days of pain, man, you gotta keep going. Damn, I just lost my dog, damn, I gotta keep going. Man, I got snakes in my grass, I gotta keep mowing. Just for the days in the past, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. Hey, K-double-E-P-G-O-I-N-G, I'm feeling like cool, you know me. Worldwide Singer 3 dropping as an EP. Yeah, I'm on my way, like I'm on the fleet. I'm dropping 3 tapes, I ain't even released. Just securing the bag, I fuck with the streets, get money some way, anyway we gon' eat. Tell my mama, my daddy, you gotta believe. Y'all gon' get it out way before you even leave. As long as I breathe, I gotta succeed. Cause if you mean what you mean, when you say what you mean, then you mean what you say.
say what you mean. Right. Yeah, I got a million, went from a dream to a team to a label. I'm trying to flip this label to a major. Stand way up like I bought a hanger. CGA chain on the way, watch it dangle. I'm staying way up like I bought a hanger. CGA chain on the way, watch it dangle. Double click on the beat, it's a hit. Game on. I got down, so please pat the stick. I've been waiting so long, now I'm all legit. Just for days in the past, I'm never calling quit.
Hey man, you gotta keep going. Damn, I just lost my dog. Damn, I gotta keep going. Man, I got snakes in my grass. I gotta keep mowing. Just for the days in the past, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. My foot on the gas, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. No room for complaints, every door is a blessing. Cause long as we breathe, we'll take a new lesson. We live and we learn. I found that bridges will burn. And you can't backtrack in that current. Gotta let them tires keep on turning. Cause we only get one life to live. Seen this stingy world we'll never give. So back in my youthful years, that pressure had taught me to take it. Say pressure make my daddy great. Lord, what made that great mistake? It's funny that money will turn us to slaves. To the same streets where we play. Not everybody moving weight. Not everybody making plays. Not every day a new case. Just with a whole new cast. Set sight to see him in that casket. And you know that time keep on passing. Make you question God, did he ask you? Did you give him permission to blast him? But yeah, he give you no answer. And yeah, you learn that you gotta keep going.
Long live my brother here, man. Because they Kenny, they Cheryl. And all my father's soldiers, man. Y'all really see you. You gotta keep going out here, though. You gotta prevail in this circumstance when they face you. This shit be part of life, man. You gotta keep going. Like I said, you only get one life to live. You gotta live to the fullest when you chase success. Just teach that motherfucker life, man. Yeah. Friday.
Alright, that was Keep Going. It's the track getting a shout out of the mute button. First Lady, what you say?
All right, well, he came back with a good song, too, so I'm going to give it a shout-out. I mean, that was a little bit more, what's the word I want to use? A little bit more aggressive rap, I guess is what I would call it, you know. But I'm shouting out. I enjoy young Freda.
All right.
He has potential. You know, I'm not a rap fan, but he has potential.
Okay. First Lady says he has potential. Brandon, what's the verdict?
Yeah. I'm gonna say shout Young Freda out. Young Freda definitely came with the bars. Another dope beat. You know, he got a little swag. I definitely see a future for him. He's got to keep dropping hot tracks like that. Just stay persistent, have a social media presence, and I definitely see a bright future for him for sure.
All right. Okay. All right. Young Freda, you on the road. I got to give you a shout out too. You know, you took the time to really put you could tell that the brother put the work into what he producing out there, and man, you sounding good. So I am shouting you out. Now that's the end of shout out. If you like what you heard from Young Freda, and it's YUNG, and Freda is FREDA. Check them out on Old Grumpy Radio. Now, if you'd like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to content at oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, back to you.
All right, it's time for our outrageous predictions. All right, I'm going to start off. You know, I was thinking about this, and I was happening to read something, and it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it because it's really going to be outrageous. One of our sports superstars, I'm not saying which sport, because it could be either or, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, will come out of the closet and announce he is gay. That's my prediction. That's outrageous. Because we know superstars are not going to announce that, but I have a feeling somebody is going to be bold and come out and say they are gay. And it hasn't been, remember the guy, what was his name? I can't think of his name right now. Somebody did in the NBA, 2 players in the NBA, but they did it after they had played in the NBA. No, the one guy did it when he was in the NBA, but he wasn't a superstar. And, of course, the guy in football, he wasn't a superstar. He didn't even make a team. But anyway, trust me, there's some of them out there. So anyway, nothing wrong. Hey, your sexual orientation is your sexual orientation. That's why I think now the climate is right for somebody to come out and announce that he is gay. All right. Brandon, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that either Jameis Winston or Cam Newton will not get picked up by a team this season or will have to take backup roles in the league this season and not get any snaps in the 2020-2021 season.
All right. That's outrageous.
That
all right,
is an outrageous prediction.
What's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will not make it to the playoffs.
Right.
We shall see. Right? Yeah, they may not make it because they're not going to be no NFL. Anyway, no, let me stop. All right, well, the coronavirus pandemic is really putting the lives of our countless workers at risk. And the healthcare industry with these healthcare workers, they deserve all of our admiration. And please help them out. Please adhere to social distancing because that's the only way to get rid of this virus. Please visit us at brawspantysports.com where you'll find links to the latest shows and episodes. This has been Cheryl's. Well, first of all, I want to thank Brandon Fant for being with us today. We truly appreciate you. And before we go, if you want to tell people one more time about your product and how they can get in contact with you, Mr. Brandon Fant.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook and Twitter. The handle is at Fantom USA, FANTOM USA. And our website is fantomusa.com. You'll be able to get everything that you want in regards to football training, and we're also on Amazon as well. So, we appreciate the support. Our products made in the United States, handcrafted, 2,500 pieces sold worldwide, 6 countries, 4 continents, and we would love to service you in any way. So please just, hit us up, and we'd be more than happy to help you. And thank you for having me, First Lady and Spitface. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you, and I hope you do well with your product. Because if I was playing football, I darn sure would use it myself. It looks kind of fun and interesting. All right, this has been Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, along with Brandon Fant. And Spitface, you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Please be safe. Social distancing. We'll see you next week.